Before we get Jones on, can we do quickly G Fartcoin, and I'll pull Jones on here so we can test Mike.
Yep, I
Do
will. I can
quick
pull that
G
up. I have it
Fartcoin.
on my thing. Let me pull up. And we gotta run through MetaDAO. I think I've seen Jones is a fan of the MetaDAO and Avicii, so like, I'll have him come up for that. But yeah, let's see G Fartcoin. Fartcoin, for those who don't know, this is the game coin for Fartcoin, launched on OG Protocol. Here's my thought process here, guys. It's at 152K. For those that don't know, this is OG Protocol launched G Fartcoin, right? This is a game coin tied to Fartcoin. The Fartcoin holders have to stake Fartcoin to get this unlocked. It's unlocked. Now, this is their in-game currency that they'll use. Okay. That being said, for OG Protocol to really win in a big way, they need like a champion. And with G Fartcoin being at 152K, you know, it's like the game coin for Fartcoin. I feel like this is probably the one they crime up, if anything. So, I don't know, 152K, the RR is kind of there. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite pick, but like it's probably not the worst pick. I don't know. I could definitely see
Worth a lotto ticket at this point. I mean, you're betting on ultimately Justin, you know, again, CEO of Zynga. Zynga was a $12 billion company when they took it private. So this is kind of that play.
Yeah.
And I'd say this. I'd say this as well. They haven't went full force yet, right? Like they haven't even launched or anything like that. The token isn't here yet. So I think there's just a lot of like short-term catalysts. We know that you know, within the next few weeks, there's going to be a ton of ICM launches. So and who, you know, OG Protocol likely one of them. So it's just one of those things where this could take some time to play out. Might not want to bet the farm, but hey, look, you know, we're worth a little lunch money.
Yeah. On that note too, it's like OG Protocol, just like Chill said, it's in its early stages. We know Justin's got these relationships. Right now, it's just indie games. It's small games that are integrated, but I really don't see a world where Justin doesn't go out and integrate some of these big, more well-known games. Maybe it's not Battlefield, maybe it's not Fortnite, maybe it's not, you know, GTA 5, whatever. But I do see Justin kind of going and integrating big games, and then, you know, pairing that with the ability to get paid to play these games. I think it's a good RR there. So that being said, we'll let JonesRida come on and speak a bit to us. Excited to talk to him. Obviously, he is the founder. I guess maybe not the founder. Sleuth is a founder of LeftCurve, but co-founder. I don't even know how I should properly address this, Jones. But owner right now of LeftCurveDAO, amazing trader, fantastic friend, and we're excited to talk with you. So, Jones, how are you doing, brother?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, everybody hears me?
You're good.
Just
All
good. Sound check. I had some problems before.
Oh,
yeah. Thank you for the invitation. Actually, really excited to be here. Just to get it straight, Sleuth is the founder, right? And he handed it over to me a couple of months ago. I'm not even sure how long I'm in the lead already, but yeah, it's been a blast.
Man,
definitely.
Good. We're glad to have you. Chill's up here. He's the most recent addition to LeftCurve. He's been loving it. I remember we were talking. He's like, man, I think I'm just gonna make LeftCurve my main chat, dude. I love these guys. You know, it's an awesome chat. So you've done
Congrats,
a great
Chill.
job.
Look, Jones, appreciate the invitation. And yeah, no, I mean, just speaking from first experience, LeftCurve just has a ton of just level heads, man. A lot of people that look at the market in different ways. And you know, there's a lot of groups out there that there's different traders, but everyone trades on chain or everyone trades in the same place. But you know, on LeftCurve, everyone like kind of does their own thing, but comes together in such a beautiful way to just kind of help each other. And it's smooth. It's awesome. I don't know how else to put it. So really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, and thanks for the kind words. Basically, with the server, it's like you said it. Like there's specific servers that like only like Solana, shitcoin, pump fund based. Some are just like base stuff. Some are, you name it, like perps and everything. They specify on some things, and we're trying to make sure that the server has all kinds of alpha. Like a couple of months ago, we asked ourselves, or some of us asked ourselves, so what's missing? Like, do we have some specific people who are really good at specific stuff? And then I try to make sure that we have like the whole variety of people in there, so nothing's missing, you know. I think it's really important also, yeah, that you have all these people in order to make sure that we're really alpha, you know.
And I mean, in that vein, I just wanted to just take a step back for a moment. I mean, just kind of educate the audience on how you even came to be introduced to whether it is Sleuth, Left Curve. Kind of explain what Left Curve is and how you got there.
I think I might start really at the beginning. Like how I found my way into crypto was like first through Bitcoin, and I was kind of solo riding, I'd say, for quite some time, following a lot of the wrong people, you know.
Of course.
Just how it is when you start like making a Twitter account, and then, I mean, you are inexperienced guy and you see like all the scam and shit that's going on Twitter, and obviously you think like the guys with big amounts of followers, they are the ones to follow, you know. That's the first mistake
Nope.
you can do, yeah. So so I've been just doing shit all day and losing trades, and didn't even have any clue about like anything crypto related. And then I suddenly stumbled across this guy named MC Sleuth. And I think it was during the times when he had this AI challenge where he kind of had a really viral moment. And Left Curve back then was not called Left Curve. It was totally different. It was just some sort of server where Sleuth occasionally sent like a free invite link on Twitter, and you had to be fast. And basically, it was just luck I landed there, because I just seen this really early, got in there, and that was the moment I joined a server that was back then not called Left Curve, but yeah, some OGs still in there, but obviously a lot of things changed. We are not like server anymore where you just post a free link and anybody can join. Since I've probably, I think Dom knows this, I've spent like countless of hours, like probably hundreds of hours, just interrogating people, interviewing people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, tell me why should you join and everything. And also like had really good discussions, but not everybody fits in there. Sometimes you talk to people for 2 or 3 hours and you're totally convinced, okay, they are nice additions, but they don't live up to what they said. They're not as active. And that's a constant process. We always, yeah, try to refine this. Some people get purged, some make space for some new people, and I think now we're at a stage where, yeah, where there's not a lot things to do anymore to make it like
Much better.
better. Yeah, it's really good. It's great.
So Jones, why is that important? Why is it important to keep constantly fresh people coming in? Why is it important to do these? You spend hours and hours a day, countless hours, you said, interviewing people to just make sure they fit right with Left Curve. Some work, some don't. Why is it important to do that in such a high level group like this?
Well, it wouldn't be as important if everybody's always like stays active. but it's just the name of the game. Some people just lose interest in crypto. Some people can't live up to a gazillion chats they have. I mean, I'm pretty sure some people join because of kind of FOMO. I gotta be in the server, but it's like that 10th server, you know. Obviously, sometimes you got some sort of loyalty to the earlier ones you're in. Um, I mean, therefore, it's just simply important to always make sure that the people that are in, that they are active. Um, no shame if you can't be active for some time. I mean, like sometimes I tell everybody like send me a DM if you're on vacation or anything, but I just want to know. So whenever the purge happens, and it happens sometimes, um, that they are yeah, safe, you know. But basically, in order to always be on top of the game and also have some sort of um yeah, how do I say, you want
Edge.
people to, yeah, always, yeah, you want the edge, you want people to be active, and you want to be um a server that always has the info, and therefore you sometimes need to make changes to keep everybody also with the drive to stay active, you know. So if I know I get invited to a server and I can just be a read-only guy, not provide any value, and basically, yeah, I mean, in this case, like if somebody's not active but just reads and apes the stuff that people send in, that's like harsh word, but it's like stealing, you know, and you can't just let that happen because
Yeah.
everybody grinds in there, and you have the server to have like many people who like many brains thinking together, you know,
Yeah.
and
Jones, I
activists.
want to kind of walk it back. You had said you joined Left Curve off a quick click invite link that Slew sent out one day. You got in the chat. And since then, when you first joined, you were saying, you were following all these people. You maybe weren't a very refined trader. Then you joined Left Curve and things kind of started to move in the right direction. How important is it to be in a good chat and be surrounded by, the best of the best in class when it comes to traders?
Yeah, I mean, we learn every day. Everybody, each and every one of us learns every day. There's always something I don't know, and um, I mean, it, I mean, I have to get it straight. Like when I first joined in there, yeah. So I had some really stupid questions, no? And basically there, I mean, but it's now a whole different user base. We have still some OGs, but I started asking some, yeah, I mean, would say normie questions, and I kind of got some heat, like, why do you invite these people, you know? But I also realized there were so many people who were helpful, and um, who are like looking to actually like be kind and um, help you refine your edge. And I mean, at the beginning, it starts with even like getting into the stuff, not doing stupid mistakes, and then at some point when you got some sort of edge, then it's refining this. But it's I think it's for me, it was also based, like my success was also based on some individuals, like some sort of mentor um, that I found in Monster. He's also a really great trader, left curve
What
OG.
Where did you find him?
What did you say?
Wait, where did you find this person? Was it in Left Curve?
Yeah, he's an OG left curver still in there. And yeah, he's basically yeah, one of my best friends.
Nice.
And so we just, like, I think it's also really important to have somebody like this, like chatting like a lot, asking stuff, doing some sort of research together and everything. And honestly, if it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't be where I am right now. But a really good server helps a lot.
How important is it? How important is it to just remain a student? And are there any patterns you see between like people in the server where it's like the people with a big ego don't want to ask questions, think they know it all, tend to underperform compared to the people maybe that have no ego and ask questions and remain a student all the time? Is that like a pattern you've seen pick up, or any examples you could give us without like name dropping, of course?
I think somebody with a big ego and like even like in combination maybe with not dropping a lot is not gonna survive for very long in the server. On the other hand, I think I'm totally fine. Or I think people who are always willing to learn, always looking to be active, be there when times are not good, even if it's just for an occasional chat or for outside crypto topics. Like these guys will survive, and they will actually be successful in future, I think. More so than people who think they know everything.
Yeah. Do you want to do we want to jump into some charts, man? See what you're looking at these days, what you're excited about. I saw you were posting about Avicii, man. Are you big into the whole meta DAO narrative?
I'm not actually sure if I ever posted about Avicii, to be honest.
No,
No,
I feel like I saw that on your Twitter.
no, actually, I think no. So I have a confession to make. So I was thinking about this the whole week, but I just thought like, okay, we're just gonna float here and see what happens. I mean, we can look at charts, but as you may have already also seen, I have not been too exposed to the market in the last 2 weeks, and I have also encouraged a lot of people in my surrounding to take a step back and refresh their minds, because yeah, I mean, we all know what happened on October 10th. Um, but I just think it's not the best time to be like very risk on, in my opinion.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because that's actually I was just about to jump in and talk about that, because I think that was one of the tweets I might have actually like quote tweeted or
Yeah,
retweeted
yeah.
that tweet. I was reading that and I thought that was just a really interesting position to have right now. And I'll share the tweet right here. Um, you basically said patience wins. This part of the market isn't about catching every move, and the
Chill.
part yeah.
1 second. Let me pull your screen up. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, oops, my bad. I didn't pull my screen up. Here we go. So here's the tweet. Patience wins. You said this part of the market isn't about catching every move, and the part that really stuck out to me, and that I'd like you to kind of expound on, is this part here. Whatever you miss, whatever you miss now being cautious, you'll make back easily when the market flips risk on. So kind of walk us through your thoughts and like kind of what made you come to this conclusion, and kind of bridge that into how you're thinking about the markets right now.
Sure. To be honest, I was kind of hoping we talk about that, because it's basically like the main thing that concerns me right now. Um, First of all, we know like the market right now is not really good. Obviously, if let's put it back to this specific day, October 10th. So if you were somebody who caught like in this very short time window, if you caught some of these dips, obviously you'd be up tremendously. Yeah. So that was a good dip buying opportunity. The next morning already, in my opinion, already is like not the best time to expose yourself so hard to the market. This has some like what happened has some really big implications, in my opinion, for crypto. One thing is obviously the industry we all thought was like kind of grown into this institutional bit kind of industry, like grown up, you could say. It was now happen like what happened. It's kind of, we all thought now this wouldn't happen anymore. It was kind of crazy. So I think many people lost a lot of money. That's the first thing. I lost a lot of money, not too much, but like 20%ish of the port. And I know many other people have felt the same. So confidence in the market is at a low. And I think when confidence is at such a low and the market is basically not really trending, we have a situation where I think bids are happening, but a lot less volume. And also, what happens is people are trading with like a trading view on the next window, and they are watching the BTC 1 minute chart. Like, okay, so I bought this shitcoin, I'm up 10%. Now BTC dumps like 1K, like nothing, but it dumps 1K. Okay, let me sell this on all the other heads. This is something that's happening. And I think right now, these are not the opportunities that make me money. Like, I can start bidding all the shit for like 10% and 20% moves, but it's not really making a real impact on my portfolio. There's the obviously the risk that I lose with all these trades too. It's also a lot of micro decisions I have to do all day. Like, do I have a good entry? Should I buy? Should I sell? Where do I TP? What if this happens? What if that happens? Like, so many decisions. And basically, I will not have like real impact on my port. So I think basically for this reason, it's the best to just sit on your hands, refresh your mind. Let's assume I could have made like 3, 4, 5K, like any non-meaningful like amount of money in this time window. But I could have also bled myself to death, what happened many times before to not only me, but to any like to a lot of other people too. So I'm just trying to avoid that and trade a trending market. So either we get really meaningful levels, like let's say ETH fills the wick, so where we could assume we will see 2 or 3 weeks of a uptrending market. So on-chain will revive like a little bit again. So this is what I would then trade, but I would not like we all know that when you are in the zone, when you got a really good time window to trade, what I do, like what I make in this kind of market is like 50 to 100x better than what I can do in this kind of shit market when I trade.
So you're saying when the market's not trending, you're better off just sitting on your hands rather than getting chopped up and wrecked basically for the weeks or months the market's just not trending.
I think there's something else that's playing into this, and it's we are late in the cycle. I don't know what happens next. I mean, we all hope that the bull market will like go on, and I'm fairly confident it will, but I don't know. What if not? And
Can you get into your cycle theory or just like how you've thought about cycles in the past maybe and why you think this time may or may not be different?
I to be honest, I don't. I'm all I know is that we are 4 years into the cycle. You know, we are basically this is what was happening in the past. So 4 years, and then we'd get a bear market. I don't know what will happen now, and I'm not like I think I don't really want to risk it. Like I'm just doing what I get. Like the cards I'm being dealt. You know. I'm not saying like I will also trade in bear market. You know, I will be active no matter what. But I don't know what happens next, and I think you shown here the tweet I posted, and I think you don't really have to be a chart guru to see that the weekly like the 50 weekly EMAs always held up in the uptrend. It's a level I'd watch definitely, and if we break it, I mean it's a psychological factor that many others will consider too if it's gonna break. So then I'd start to be actually bearish. Yeah.
Nice. I actually have like a very similar take. We were actually just looking at that exact indicator just before you got on. So my question is though, so you're being patient now. You're recognizing, hey, look, post historical liquidation event, confidence is at its low. Even if you were to win, it might not even be a meaningful port W based on how choppy market conditions are. Maybe you get a good win, but then you get another loss, and it's just not meaningful, and it's net negative. So knowing how quickly on chain can move, like at what point do you get aggressive? At what point do you say, okay, now is the time to jump in? Like, what's your parameters? What's your setup look like that kind of allows you to change when the time's right?
Yeah, I think the first one I already kind of talked about. That would be when we get a really like meaningful pullback again, where I'm not looking like currently. I'm taking ETH for example. I mean we're like at 3.9 or so, 3.8. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it changed a bit.
4.
Oh, 4 already. Okay, so
Mhm.
we made some kind of move. Okay. But for this whole, I mean, since the liquidation event, um, I think the whole time we were like, if you didn't happen like to catch the bottom of the wick, I mean, 3.6 was kind of the lowest then. Um, that would that was actually kind of you could think about jumping in there like buying some spot ETH and looking for basically not more than a 10% move. Um, because like the 4.2 level on ETH is, I think is pretty important to flip this. So if we flip this level, for example, I'd look for like also uh, some more exposure on chain because then we would have an uptrending market again. So I mean, we flip that, then we are probably looking to target all-time highs again. And also, I think that's a big confidence level in the market if we got this. And we like currently there's the fear, okay, maybe like let's reject another time at 4.2. We'd be probably looking or considering like targets to the downside. And this once again would kind of be really bad move for confidence in the markets. So either we get like 3.3 or even like 2.8 ETH, like in a short time, not like chopping down. Then I think that's probably a good time to get some exposure because we'd be probably having some sort of trend up to some meaningful resistance levels again, but they're probably higher. Or flip 4.2 and the bull continues and we get some confidence back. But I want to just note one more thing. Currently, since I already said, like, I don't know what happens next, I don't care. Like, I care what happens next, but it doesn't really change what I'm about to do. Whenever we are in a market like this, I'm trying to get like gratitude over greed, you know. I've seen people saying like max long now, and I'm sure many of these people will be bleeding to death because they will act out of greed, you know, taking too much risk to make up for what they lost. I think I can say that I did 200x in 1.5 years now. I was even a little bit
Wow.
higher. And now I'm trying to be really like, I feel gratitude that I made this, like that I took the step to go into crypto to get myself in the position I am now. And if the market was, if the cycle was over now, man, I'd be looking at a figure I didn't believe even half a year ago, and I'm totally happy with what I made. If we get other chances in the market later, I'm gonna take them for sure. But I'm just saying to everybody, like, don't risk too much right now. Even like you can punt some stuff. I did too. I got like 2-3 positions running right now with lower kind of confidence because of the circumstance I said. But like the position size is like 1/3 or maybe one half or something like that. You know, like I think it's a mistake to be too risk on right now.
What about perps, dude? Are you trading any perps these days? Or you said you got 20% of your portfolio wiped out. By the way, sorry to hear that. Was that due to trading perps, or how did that look?
Okay, no, I don't trade perps. I think for me it's also some sort of like I I know that there's like beasts in the market, you know. There's people that will crush you, and I think I see so many people who, when no, they don't have a clue what they're doing, but they still do it. I don't want to be one of those people, you know. So I I'm kind of want to learn it. And whenever we got like a really like dry period in the market, I got some cool stuff where I can learn it. I have some material that's pretty good, but I think it takes just a lot of time to master the art of perps trading, and I'm not really willing to expose myself to that field. Um, I'm I may be doing it like with like yeah, I would say like small amounts of money, like let's say like $50 or so. So something that wouldn't hurt to lose, just for the feel, but I'm not really interested right now into perps.
Okay. I want to kind of run back to something you mentioned earlier. You said people aren't grateful enough. There's not enough gratitude. I think one thing I see on Twitter also that's just, it's so peculiar to me is that people have lost touch of how much money is a significant amount. And of course, it changes based on where you live and your circumstances. But, you know, we see this conversation going on right now about, oh, how is Kobe not a billionaire, right? Kobe just sold an NFT for 25 million. And it's like, some people just don't get how much money that is.
Yeah.
Do you think there's an issue right now with Twitter just kind of making it seem like everyone should be making so much money, but in reality, it's just such a small fraction of those people who are actually doing it at a high level?
Well, I think it's kind of an issue. I'm pretty sure a lot of it is shit talking too. But yeah, I mean, we are so delusional. Like the industry is so delusional. In a sense, like I tell myself, in a sense, as a trader, it's good to kind of lose the perception of money a little bit, you know. Um, just to make an example, if I do a trade and I lose 10K, you know, or I risk 10K, or let's even say 1K, okay? So, okay, I'm aping something for 10K, I'm like 2K down. Um, if I really see that money as what it's worth in buying power, then I will just constantly be watching the 1 minute chart. And, you know, I mean, it's kind of important to lose a little bit of the perception of the money in this case, in this sense, you know. But
When you say in terms of buying power, do you mean like, oh, I could have bought this watch, I could have bought this car, I could have bought this, so on and so forth?
yeah, I mean, the amount of like, for example, when Sol shitcoin season was hot, yeah. I mean, I do like spend free Sol like let's say $600 in a coin where I'm willingly let this go to zero if it happens, you know. And $600
Yeah.
is like, what the fuck? Like I could actually buy some stuff for that. But in our terms, it's just okay. It's just free Sol. Fuck it.
You know, it's funny. I had this conversation with Chill the other day too, and that's kind of what I said. Like, I'll have my size in these positions, and then I'll have these small positions that's up, you know. And again, this is going to change based on like your circumstances, but I'll have these small positions up $1,000, couple $1,000, couple $100, and I'm just like, even though it's at a good level to take profit or maybe start scaling out, I'm like, well, the dollar value's lower than I would like. So I'm just not going to. And I think you have a good point. I think it goes both ways. Just being able to detach from the big dollar amount swings, and the low dollar amount swings is important, and just trade on a strict regimen no matter what. And I find myself still having that issue too, where it's like if it's not big enough, I just won't touch it, won't take profit, won't really look at it. And like you said, when you put that in perspective, it's like, whoa, well, you know, $1,000, I could buy a new couch, right? Or maybe not a new couch, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but that's why sizing is so important, man.
true.
Sometimes you buy something, you put in like, okay, let's say you put in a small amount, yeah. You do 5x, yeah. You can't be happy about it. It's
Yeah.
just so it's really important to size well. Obviously not in shitcoins, like in gamble shitcoins, pump fun that you get sent in the group chat and you ape for fun. But yeah, if it's like when we're talking about actually like investments, it's really important to size. Yeah.
What's your rule of thumb? What's your rule of thumb there when it comes to sizing?
So the question is not really too easy because I think like 10% for like some conviction back is something I'd go for. But at the same time, when in this short amount of time your portfolio like swings so high to the upside, um, these values change so fast. So I mean, I started with low four fix, you know. Um, when you do that, um, like in your first months, you know, and then we're talking about a few hundred or maybe $1,000, yeah. And like soonish it was like 10K and then 20K and so on, you know. And it's I think whenever it changes so fast, you should not apply this rule of thumb because it kinda you have to get used to the portfolio size first before you actually go back to this 10%, for example. So I think whenever you have like a big win that meaningfully changes your portfolio, sometimes I mean, let's say you aped 10%, a 10% back of something, it did 5x. I mean that you made 50% on the port. So whenever something like this happens, I did the mistake before. I was also sizing this up because now you got money now, and you think, okay, now I'm gonna play with the big boys.
Little confidence.
Yeah, confidence, overconfidence. I actually made a really a post on that too, that some people really liked, where I was sharing some of my mistakes from overconfidence after big wins. It just happens, yeah. And I think that now my learning is start a little bit slow, keep around the same position size, but actually I have to admit one thing: it's a lot of balls tingling. Like I don't have set position size, you know. I mean, it's always the question, like, is whatever info you buy something on, is that a known info? Are you maybe the first to really see that? Are you the first who's talking about it? What is actually like happening after? Is it a good narrative, and all these things? So if a lot of boxes check, man, blasted, and then yeah, it's a lot of balls tingling.
So do you do any journaling? And I do want to ask you just a little bit about, like, you know, what parts of the market you're interested in, and kind of get your ideas there. But before we even go there, I wanted to ask you, do you journal? Do you record your trades? Do you go back and kind of see where you messed up or where you could improve? What's your approach there?
Yeah, so I I think journaling is a really good thing. I'm sort of inconsistent doing it. I actually set up a journal with ChatGPT in the project section, which is pretty cool because it does like all the work for you, and you just type whatever you feel, and it can really do some cool stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of inconsistent sometimes in doing it. So I'd say I'm not the greatest journal guy, but what I do and what helps me actually most is expressing my thoughts on Twitter. It's like a journal for me too. I mean, I'm obviously not talking about like specific sizes or trade, like when I entered TP levels and all the stuff. Obviously, I don't do that, but for me, like what helps me most in journaling is actually like the psychological part, and the part when it's about emotions. So
Got
yeah.
it. Yeah, me and Dom had this conversation around journaling the other day, and I recently picked it up, and it definitely helps from the psychological side of things, and just kind of helps you keep track of things. But I'm also finding that I might not be the most consistent daily journaler, but I as well use Twitter as a bit of an outlet to kind of express my feelings and
Chill, can I ask, like, if you're about to write something on a piece of paper, like, what do you
yeah.
write? Are you writing like, oh, I placed this trade at this price, this was the outcome?
So
Do you write it when the trade is open, or do you write it when the trade is closed? Like, what does it actually look like?
Be- beforehand. So like I have a typically, I'm sure Jones, maybe you do something similar. You know, if I have trades that I want to take, or a thesis on the market, oh, you know, like now the thesis is ICM, we're early, you know, I'd write down, okay, look, these are the tickers I'm interested in. And then I'll just check the charts regularly. And you guys know the red boxes, when it hits a red box, bang, entry. So I try to plan it out, and then act, versus, you know, and you know, on chain is so it's an arena that's constantly changing. So sometimes you have to make those decisions. And like Jones mentioned earlier, you know, sometimes you're just tingling and everything just checks the boxes. You know, so you know, there's definitely times such as those. But yeah, Jones, I mean, what parts of the market right now would you say you're most interested in? Or, you know, when things do kind of flip for you and you flip bullish, what are you going after first, or how are you looking at that side of things?
So I think first first of all I have to say currently like I actually did what I said. Like I even pulled myself a little bit out of the market and didn't check stuff like too eagerly for some days. So I'm not like up to date with everything. But I can even tell you for the current market, even when things don't check out like as I wish they were yet. But I think I want to have a look at all the stuff that either is a hot narrative or has a catalyst up front. I mean, these are the trades where you can't do a lot wrong. So I don't have a lot of positions open right now. What I do have open right now, some is in the prediction markets matter because obviously this is a huge narrative right now with Kalshi and Polymarket kind of raising big right now, having an IPO somewhere in the next 1 to 2 years. I mean, it's it's kind of far away probably, but it's something that people just like to talk about. And obviously, prediction markets is also something interesting in terms of will we have a bull or like a further bull or bear, because I think prediction markets is something that many might actually transfer over to when the on-chain markets are dry, because there's always something to bet on. Like this doesn't have anything to do with like charts going up or down. I mean, it's just basically it's a yes or no question. So I think that's something that is really worth having an eye on. So I'm just gonna share my only like okay, got two, but one is a shitcoin. Like the only position I have right now actually in this meta is pretty because we got limitless TGE upfront. Not this one. The one on base.
What's the
The
ticker?
one on base. PREDI.
Oh, pretty, yeah.
Yeah, pretty. So first of all, obviously chart when I bought was clearly bottoms. I mean, you know, it can always go more down. But I think this one just checked out for me as something I'd be willing to put some money in, because we got, as I said, limitless TGE base related coin. So it it just simply made sense to ape a prediction market coin on base. Actually, also one that like the numbers are increasing. It's not like huge, but people are actually using it. Grok is also using it. So I think there's also has some good people who are aligned with the coin. So there was some.
What do you mean when you say Grok is using it?
There was actually somebody posted it. It Grok made a prediction market with it.
That's
Well,
pretty
that's
crazy.
actually kind of crazy, yeah.
Wait, I show you. Wait. Wait.
I mean, now we have AI.
Do you think prediction markets?
Go ahead, Dom.
Say again, Jill.
No, I was just crazy that we have AI making prediction markets now. I mean, if that's not an indicator, I don't know what is.
Yeah, right. Though, at what point do we get to prediction markets where it's just AI creating it and AI betting the arbitrage and just taking edges ever so slightly all the time. Like there at some point, I feel like for prediction markets, there may be no human edge. That's probably really forward looking, but yeah.
I think it could just be an eventuality, just like Jones was just saying, prediction markets, there's always something to bet on. There's always something to put money towards. And at the end of the day, humans can't stay online 24/7, right? Humans can't stay online 24/7. So at the end of the day, maybe we do have, AI kind of, being heavily influencing these markets at some point.
Here's the bet JonesRida was talking about.
Let's see.
Grok says prediction markets are crowdsourcing effectively. XA values making blah blah. Hey Grok, teaming up sounds like a match. Okay, that was from prediction markets. Sounds like a winning bet. Bitcoin's at around 68K now. Hitting 150K by December 31st would be a wild ride. Let's build that market on base with PrediBot. First event, Bitcoin to 150K. Odds starting at 20%. Yes. What's your prediction?
Okay, I mean, I will just talk about it. The elephant in the room, Bitcoin was not at 68K.
Dude, oh, wait a minute. This is October 19th. What?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know what Grok did there.
All right, Grok.
Hallucinating, bro. AI hallucination.
This might be, they do train sometimes on old data, so this might be something like that, but I don't know. I feel like Grok should know.
Come on, yeah.
Yeah, it should definitely know. But I think it's not even the first time I've seen it using it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's this whole conversation kind of led it into kind of also placing that bet. But however, we all know that the whole crypto game is some sort of attention game, and this kind of gets attention. And yeah, I mean, I aped it because of mentioned catalyst, and obviously the entry was kind of fine. And yeah, I'm thinking this could be a good short-term trade.
So prediction markets are your top narrative right now. Is there anything else that you really like? AI is, I think, like an easy one to say. ICM might be another one. What comes to top of mind other than prediction markets?
I have to get more into ICM when I see you guys, man. You're kind of making me bullish. I have to say, like all the stuff surrounding belief and what happened, it kind of put me off a little bit in the past. I think the greatest day or one of the greatest days in crypto was this one morning when ICM kicked off. I don't know, like that was such a nice day. Everybody made money apparently.
Euphoric.
Yeah, that was sick. I mean, okay, so yeah, AI is always an interesting narrative. Obviously, I'm not like I have to say I'm not the guy that is constantly like just looking at a few narratives. It's more like what floats. Like I'm trying to be with the market, and I think other than probably a lot of other people, I think it's important to know your edge, and my edge is not like holding a coin for several months. Just not good at it. I do it sometimes, but apparently on all the ones I do, I seem to be losing money. So I'm trying to get a little bit away from that. I'm more interested like in seeing what happens, always being floating with the market, and looking at like trades with a time frame of maybe 2 weeks. Like currently also more focused on new launches, like stuff where you actually don't have back holders, stuff that's like you wait for the launch chip and you recognize, okay, this is a good one. Stuff like, for example, Avantis, Hydrex was a good one. Like stuff like this, that's fresh, that's interesting, and ride it for the first attention wave. That's more like the stuff I'm looking at right now.
So I
And
guess one.
yeah,
Keep going.
I just wanted to say, and I'm not really focused on one narrative there. Obviously, some stuff is interesting for sure. But yeah, just gonna leave it with that.
I guess one question that I had was just in addition to what you just said, I've like coming into crypto, I've always heard, just hold your bags, we'll have an alt season, everything will go up. And obviously that hasn't been the case so far. In fact, you dare say that anyone who's held a bag for anything more than 6 months, or sometimes even like within the 3 to 6 month window, they've oftentimes been hurt. Like we've seen the Murad's portfolio swings, up and down. We've seen, some of the meme coins go to billions and then, drop to basically zero. We've even seen a lot of the utility um underperform as well. So is it that like is it the market? Does the market kind of weigh into your hold times, or is it just the fact that it's just not something that you do?
Obviously, it's the market that makes me adjust my strategy about like on this. Like I think it. I mean, it's just naturally like you got like a few years ago, you got like so many launches in a year, and now you got like the same amount of launches in a day or maybe even in an hour. So attention fragmentalization is extremely real, and I think either you go with the market or you go like
Do you
completely.
ever think do you ever think we go back to a world where I don't know, where we do have like sustainable price action and like like projects that like sustain a certain level for extended periods of time? Or
Everything going
yeah,
up.
I wouldn't even say everything going up. I would say, is it possible, let's say from now to let's say 6 months in the future, to hold something today and still outperform the general market, or even outperform Bitcoin by holding like an altcoin, or are those days over, and is it just a trader's market?
I mean, there will always be examples for where this completely applies. I'm just gonna say hype. Hype. Whoever held that, who like, congratulations if you still hold your airdrop. You're a giga millionaire now.
Too.
Like it's like you will always have these. But the problem is simply this, and I'm just a participant in the market. I try to get the biggest edge I can get with my network, with the people around me. Like we're trying together to be on top of the market. But it's simple. It's just normal, that it's impossible to like almost impossible to really find the place and have the conviction in these that are actually the outliers. And we are not even talking about 99.9% outliers. We're talking about 99.99999% outliers. Um,
Yeah.
so therefore, I think, why should I try to risk my bag that may at some point be up like a really good amount, um, to like round trip this when I don't know if this is the coin that does it. So I think um, there's no coin I could have held from when I started until now, and I would have as much as I have now. Like, it's unrealistic that I will pick this one coin. Surely there will always be coins where sellers are punished, obviously, but I think it will probably stay a trader's market. And it will obviously, like, the intensity to like the extent in which like how much it is a traders or holders market will kind of shift based on how strong the market in general is. So obviously we know you can hold longer when the market is good, and you probably can sell earlier or should sell earlier when the market is bad, because it's like mass psychology. But yeah, it's a difficult one. But I'd go with the strategy that I know works for me. And I think everybody should derive a strategy that works for them. I mean, you guys are probably to a good extent like holders in your favorite ICM coins, but you're also like, and I admire that, you know. But you're also like probably as close to the source as it gets, you know, like you are on top of your game, and therefore it works for you, and therefore I should probably talk a little bit more to you to ape into these coins early.
Here you are.
You got our number, bro. Anytime.
Sorry if I missed it, but does Left Curve have an ICM like track or little mini community?
We got two of the
Jones,
OC.
would I be allowed to share like a screen share of the server just to show like what it looks like, or no?
We can do a left curve tweet.
Sorry, what? What do you mean?
Would it be if I screen share the server just to show what it looks like? Is that okay or no?
Sure, can do it.
Sure. Okay. Let's see. Share this tab. You want to walk us through it, Jones?
Wait. Yeah, I mean, we got some, like, we're kind of organized. Some people who come from straight up like TGs, they sometimes have problems with all the chats in there, but yeah, we got a one main channel. These are some automated stuff we have that we get pulled in here. Some guys share daily analytics stuff, all the most important stuff from, you know, all the on these sources like CoinSense and DEX flows and you name it. Smart money buying. We got some automated summary, what happened during the day.
I rarely go through this part. I got to go through this more often.
Yeah,
This is
we
sick.
got some really good astrology in there, and it works. But,
Yes.
but can't share too much here. It's really alpha, and my friend Bitter No Coiner, he will also have a website on this too. Yeah, obviously here we got some exploits. Yeah, everybody should look at roles, infos. We got a call channel, but it's not used too much, to be honest.
And are people calling like microcaps, or are they calling perp setups? Like what do you call in there?
The call channel is more or less for, I would say,
Conviction.
yeah, it's like when you really are able to put a thesis behind it, like you research something,
Right. You have thesis.
that's worth like tagging people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people have their chart setups there. We have
Looking
a
at pump. There we go.
That's some. We got a shitcoin channel, like obviously everything that you can really put meaningful money in. Some DeFi channel, some research channel.
No ICM though. I don't see any ICM.
No, we
on
don't.
the
We don't
side.
have. But that's
It kind of fits in general.
I have to say though. I mean, we are just distinguishing between like coins that are like high lick and between like shit coins.
Yeah.
We don't make like we don't have an AI channel or stuff like that. So
Are you familiar with ICM run by chance?
a little bit maybe, but
What
not.
Mercy's doing there?
What did you say?
I said what Mercy from ICM run.
I'm actually
Not familiar.
not really like
Yeah,
not too
okay.
much. No.
I think that's kind of like if I were to. I know maybe you want to learn more about ICM. Obviously, you're on the channel, which is great. But ICM run, I feel like, is a good kind of starting point to like see kind of what's going on. But yeah, it's a DAO, just incubator on all these projects, and it's gained some interesting contributors. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Luca
I've
Nets
seen.
is a contributor on there. You got Soju as a contributor on there from Meteora. You got Stig from Believe, right? I mean, there's just a whole bunch of really great guys.
Yeah, I know you guys have been doing some sort of launch party or stuff. I remember.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember you guys like having a lot of fun in the chat back then. I think I will have to take a look at it, definitely. I read some stuff about Elon being some sort of
he's on the mentor list. He's on the
He's on the
mentor
mentor
list.
list, so
affiliated.
he could be
Okay,
joining the team.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
Unannounced.
so are they not like affiliated with Believe then?
No, so that's the thing that makes ICM kind of nice is they're launchpad agnostic, right? One thing we've been seeing a lot on this channel, and we interview basically all the launch pads, is there's a ton of competition right now coming out to build these launch pads that are just better, right? So like launch pads that are tied to equity, right? So if you buy a token, it's actually tied to equity in a startup or a private company. There are launch pads that are building ownership coin systems. So it's like, hey, if you have a project, the tokens, just like governance, the token holders kind of get to pick what to do with it, but at a much deeper level to where all revenue, everything from a project kind of flows back into a treasury that's owned by just like a DAO owned by the token holders. And so like nothing can be done without it being passed. And that's like been a super interesting, obviously Meta DAO's heading that up. And so ICM is an incubator and it's working with all these launch pads. It's agnostic. It'll launch wherever. And they're incubating just some of the top projects. So that's the differentiating factor there. It's not just Believe specific, despite Believe right now being really the dominant and the only ICM launchpad that's like doing well right now, or that's popular right now.
What do you guys see this going to? Like
Jones,
also with the
honestly,
stuff.
we're gonna sound crazy if we say this.
Yeah.
I mean, Mercy's got so much going for him. He could legitimately send this well past 100 mil. And if we get a proper ICM season, yeah, much higher than that too. So again, you just look at the list.
Seems like your holder's gonna outperform the trader then.
Pretty
well.
Hopefully,
in this case,
say so. In this one, I would say so.
You got to also remember, dude, the supply control for a token like this is pretty crazy. Like there are 10,000 holders, yes, but remember, there's only 100 or so people that got the private sale of this, and the people that are in the private sale are like very good friends with Mercy. They're like the Meteora team. It's like Believe team. Like whoever it is, they're just diamond handing.
So Jones, do you want me to walk you through the full thesis real quick, or because we're kind of like spitballing like little stuff? I don't know if it's all coming together for you.
I mean, if you don't have any other questions, we can do.
What you got anything, Dom?
No, I think we saw the LeftCurveDAO. It's obviously a great channel. No, I think we walked through most of it. Jones, I appreciate you spitballing with us and throwing out some alpha.
Okay, cool. Then let's get in.
All righty, all righty. Well, I'll just share this. I'll just share this tweet. Let me just share my thread real quick. Um, I think this is just what's been sticking. But I basically called it the AI 16Z of ICM, and that's pretty much an accurate description. So just as we were saying, like there's all these different players and that are coming to the space, and all these launch pads are bringing Web2 entrepreneurs and helping them to tokenize their startups. Now, the thing is with ICM.run, what they are is a DAO, and they basically provide all these projects, resources, exposure, and information that helps them to be successful. So the founder right now, like Mercy, he's like ex Animoca Brands, right? Like he has like a very deep institutional crypto background. But then also you have like Luca Nets from Pudgy Penguin. You have people from DAO Maker, AVAX, Believe, Meteora that are involved in providing all these projects with resources. Um, and then the kind of tokenomics part, basically, and this may change based on votes from the DAO. But the tokens and an NFT collection is tied to the treasury. So basically, they collect 1 to 5% of each of the projects that they incubate. And then what we're also seeing now, which wasn't happening when this thread was released, was that a lot of ICM projects are partnering with the DAO. That basically they airdrop tokens to the DAO treasury. And so the treasury went from, I think it was like 50,000. I think it all-time high so far is about 200K. And they haven't launched a single project yet. They haven't incubated a single project. They have, hundreds of applications from founders, and basically the full mentor list. The mentors will decide on who they'd want to incubate, basically. Um, and yeah, I mean that's really the crux of it. So as all these players like come, all these launch pads, they all come and they want to launch ICM projects. The best way for them to be successful is to leverage the resources that ICM.run has, because they basically they're connected to anybody that is a major player in ICM. They have connections with. And so, because of the way the treasury accumulates tokens and accrues value, token holders get exposure to that. And I'm pretty sure they're working on more value
And,
accrual.
and if I may, real quick, Chill, I think I'll also add that like the Meteor crew, a part of this, are like super super involved in terms of their white gloving really high potential projects that are using Meteor's tech. And so there's this kind of like interesting alignment, where we saw like Pump Fund, for instance, they highlighted certain meme coins like Troll and USDUC, et cetera, in their ecosystem. And those coins actually did really well because people kind of just the value flowed into those like market leaders. This is a kind of a similar scenario. So yeah, I think there's just the people involved, and like Mercy's the kind of guy he's like, I'm basically like saying no to family stuff for like the next 6 months, and I'm just like working on this, like going ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. They're launching their first project. They're incubating, I should say, their first project, which is OG Protocol. Basically the founder of Zynga, who created like Words with Friends and Farmville. They're coming out with like a GameFi infrastructure, if you will. And so like $1 billion. I think Zynga's worth like 12 bill now.
It got
So
bought out private at 12.
yeah. So that's really the crux of it, Jones. I don't want to talk your ear off here. But just giving you like a quick rundown so it can save you a ton of time in your research.
Yeah, thank you. I think I might have one thing to add and one question. So first of all, you asked me what I'm bullish about, and in general, I'm bullish everything that's like, or not everything, but stuff that is like legit, like good founders, good backgrounds, building really like useful products, like at best case revenue generating products that people will use, like not like those anon devs launching five shitcoins on ETH that we all know like nobody uses that tech if it even exists, you know. Like this is kind of stuff that I'm gonna be bullish about in the future too. So this kind of angle is something I like. As you said, they are really like targeting to incubate projects that are really like offering something interesting, like only the best products. So I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on that. Another thing I wanted to ask is like you are obviously through like the whole ICM stuff, you are really bullish on or have been bullish on Belief. I'm not sure. I think you still are bullish on Belief. But we also know that at least from what they like express to the outside, they're fucked up some sort. Like even if it's genuine interest, like they made some really strange comments that fucked up holders. Like also the stuff with the migration where they increase supply and stuff. So my question is, are you like, is this a contender? Like, is this a competition to Belief and its eco, and how like does it change on what you are bullish about?
I'll actually take this one because I wrote a tweet the other day, and I'll share this out. I'll share this as well. It basically like addresses your question head on. So we know that there are like different players in the ICM space, and Believe is one of them. Believe has like a lot more competition now than when it first started. So you have people like Street, Launch on Soar, MetaDAO, and they have their own, mechanics that is a little bit different than Believe. You have Heavendex, Bonk, Star.Fun. They're also working on that stuff, but it doesn't really matter where you launch because the ICM.run is launchpad agnostic. They're not supporting one launchpad over another. It's simply where is the best place to launch for that particular founder and what they need. And so the fact that ICM.run is kind of it's basically the best place to incubate your ICM project. If you are a founder and you want to be successful, the best place to give you the best chance would be ICM.run. And so the fact that they can launch on any launch pad kind of makes them more stackable. And so there's more synergy between all of the launch pads versus competition between them. So ICM.run is kind of just sits in the middle of all of these launch pads and doesn't necessarily try to like eat anybody's lunch or anything like that, but really just pushes any ICM project forward.
Okay, so then we probably have to compare it also valuation wise with the other competitors, like especially with Belief as the
Mhm.
like the first mover, which already like reached like 250 mil or something. So that should be probably some sort of short to midterm target, I think.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Dom was mentioning. That's why I quote tweeted Dom's tweet. He put it really the best, and shout out him. Everybody should go follow Dom if you aren't already doing so. But he basically was saying like, hey, these ICM focused launch pads are trading above 100 mil, while ICM is still sits below 20 mil, right? And that's what he was kind of making the comparison. It's like there's a lot of synergy and there's a lot of players, and ICM.run is able to accrue value from all of these launch pads versus competing against them. So So yeah, we definitely agree. It's definitely underpriced in terms of like valuation when compared to these other launch pads, which it should be priced at.
Interesting,
Look, MetaDAO's at
interesting.
230 mil right now, right? Simply put, MetaDAO's at 230 mil, Believe's at 100 mil. All these other top Street Foundation has people bidding collect just to get a piece of it. It's like ultimately what's going to happen is ICM.run is going to have the top picks from all these launch pads. And so like you should probably be trading ICM.run as like a beta to firstly ICM in general, but just like a beta as a launch pad as well. So it's a pretty easy like proxy bet on the entire meta.
What came out of it already?
So they've
There,
they only have one incubation so far, which is OG Protocol, and that's from the Zynga founder. And Zynga's worth 12 billion, but they like a lot of people are saying no. Well, number one, they've had like hundreds of applications. Number two, they said that they also have some of these projects. Some are already creating revenue, others are pre-revenue. But if the first project and the caliber of project that it is and the caliber of founder that they've attracted is any indication, the other project should be pretty great as well. So from a fundamental standpoint.
Yeah, now I'll wrap on this thought here is if we look at what Believe gained traction and how the ICM narrative really kind of took hold, is there was a launch with a project called Dupe by a guy named Bobby Goschel, and this Dupe is kind of like an Amazon competitor. They do $100 million in GMV through their platform, so they're like a real company, a real e-commerce competitor, kind of like how Shopify is a very large e-commerce company. And he accidentally launched a token on Believe. And it took him a couple weeks kind of figure out what had happened. It was kind of like, oh shit, like I tweeted at the Believe count. Now all of a sudden I have these liquidity pools, Meteor, and a token set up. From that moment, people saw, wow, this is a huge company. This is ICM. That this is here. This idea has come. And so now Bobby has got this huge treasury of not only his own token, he owns 25% of it, all of which he has bought from revenues from his actual company. He's also acquired Launchcoin and companies within the ICM ecosystem that are performing really well. And so I think when I look at ICM, it's like there's a lot of forced narratives out there, but this is not one of them. This is actually an organic narrative that launched kind of accidentally, and Believe honestly was a bit of an accident if you go back and listen to Ben's podcast. Uh, but it is stuck and it has grown. The narrative continues to grow. And I think, look, I've been in crypto for 10 years. I was there in Ethereum was $9 in 2016 or 2015. I've been there through CryptoPunks in 2017. I've been there through DeFi in 2020, 2021. And anything that's ever grown in crypto has been narratives that are organic and that just kind of were accidental. So that's why I think ICM will be here for the long haul.
Well, if you like think about it, it's basically just some sort of the next step, Like, I mean, we've been trading stuff that kind of just has a value inside crypto, like because people believe in backs go higher, but whenever stuff like revenue like comes to the equation, then this kind of changes everything. So I think just from ecosystem and like crypto kind of standpoint, I gotta vouch for ICM to run. So ICM.run, I guess.
Yeah, we love it. And people want like a PVE coin. They want to play a meme coin that's hit escape velocity and they're like playing against really diversified liquidity. I like these because it's kind of like PVR or player versus revenue. It's still being tested and thought out, but again, it's like with a token like Dupe, you're trading against a company that's buying their own token and holding a bunch of it. And like, I don't know, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, You guys probably made me want to research some of this stuff a little bit more.
Well,
Some
there you
Let's go
go.
one person at a time.
So I mean, since Chill and
Jones, thanks
Dom
for coming
make
on
it
today.
there, since you guys are making left curve your main server, or it is already, we're gonna have plenty of time discussing all of these.
Can I join Left Curve? Is that cool or?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Cool.
Sure.
Well, Jones, look, man, it's been really nice talking to you. I think we probably been yapping for about an hour now, and we went through a ton of things like your trading system, your views on the market, and it's just been a pleasure to actually sit down and just chat with you, man. Hopefully, we'll be able to do this more often. So if you want to ever come back and be on the show, definitely would love to have you, bro. But appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, thank you for the
Much love,
invitation,
Jones.
and I'm definitely open for coming back. Sure.
Sweet,
All
dude.
right.
We appreciate you. Take it
Awesome.
easy, bro.
Well, appreciate your time. We'll talk.